Welcome to Myers ASMR. I hope you're relaxed and de-stressed. It's always good to see you. Hey, reach for the best feeling thought you can find. Always reach for the best feeling thought you can find. Well, look at this meal that I made today. A little something I put together very quickly. A piece of baked sweet potato, a little kale, and a turkey patty. So let's dig in. I'm eager to taste my kale because I have not cooked it in years. Normally I'll have a raw kale salad, and I put some a little dash of sesame oil and soy sauce. Nice. Well, I still know what I'm doing. You definitely don't want to overcook it. The combination of soy sauce and sesame oil makes it taste a bit Asian, which I like. I like that. Because I don't do bland. This here has so much rosemary in it. Curry powder. I ran out of salt, so I'm a little nervous about that. Chopped up a little onion, a little garlic. Oh, and red pepper flakes. Did I tell you I don't do bland? Wow. It's so much red pepper. But it's so good. And it's just enough salt. I'm having turkey patties for like 4 weeks straight because in this heat, they're just so easy to make and they're so good. You don't need any bread or, remember what I tell you, seasoning and flavor are everything. You don't need any extra sauce or bread or anything, just the patty. Now, because these other two items are so flavorful, I kept the sweet potato plain, nothing added at all. Usually I'll put some cinnamon and honey, but I didn't want the honey dripping into anything else that was already seasoned. So, and sweet potatoes can really stand on their own. That means a lot. Thank you. And if you question how bare bones and like rock bottom budget that I have, well, I do have a full-time job, and normally I'm just so tired that, I'll be honest, sometimes I just put it together, no makeup, you know. I would like to be one of those YouTubers who has the time to make fancy videos. That's a good way of saying it. People who have a staff. My staff is just me. People who can do research and come up with great thumbnails. It's just me running this household, so not making excuses, but just in case you were wondering, why doesn't she ever do this or that or make it flashy, wear makeup, and one day, y'all, one day. Right now, I'm still working a full-time job, all right? I wore these earrings in a previous video. And someone asked me where I got them. These are from Ross Simons. Ross Simons. Honestly, I didn't even think that people liked them because I had never gotten compliments before. But Ross Simons, I guess they do still have physical stores, but they have a huge online inventory on their website. I mean, this is the biggest spot for jewelry I have ever seen. And normally, I'll be honest, I'm shopping the sale clearance section, which is what I do when I go in to clothing stores. I'm looking for the sale racks, the clearance racks in the back. So I do the same thing with just about everything. So I knew I wanted some silver earrings, and these were one of the ones that were marked down. I mean, their quality runs the gamut. So you can spend a little or you can spend a lot. That's another thing I love about Ross Simons. No, they're not paying me. They're not sponsoring this video. I would proudly let you know. I see nothing wrong in talking about another business or the benefits that I get from something. Hey, each one help one, right? You don't always have to be paid just to talk about something, a product or a service, right? I would say most business, at least in the beginning, is word of mouth anyways. That's how businesses take off. You like it, you talk about it, you tell somebody, they tell somebody. own raw assignments. You gotta know what you want, what you're looking for, how much you're gonna spend, and stay focused because they have so much fine jewelry. You will just be gaga. So this particular time I knew I wanted some cheap silver earrings, something, that wasn't gonna turn, that wasn't gonna irritate my ears. So they have gold-plated too. I've got some gold-plated things from them. I don't really care. Gold-plated is fine with me. As long as it looks good, It doesn't turn. And it hasn't. It still looks the same. I mean, I have to keep cleaning it, of course, from time to time, but you would have to do that with 100% gold anyways. But I would say, honestly, with the real cheap stuff, you kind of get what you pay for. I do have a silver chain that popped, and I would have to pay somebody to fix it. That just reminds me to take care of that chain. This is so good. I know it looks plain and dry. It's actually not dry because I cook my patties in a little water. I don't use oil. So the water keeps them moist inside. I use sea salt, which I find goes further than regular salt because it's saltier. So you don't need as much. I found out the hard way. People who live in California, I would say in the LA Orange County area, and if you are familiar with the New York City area, the New York metro area, New York and New Jersey, like, which one do you prefer? I've been mulling over in my head moving to California for a long, long time. A lot of people have been there, say, and come back, they talk about how they like it over here better on the East Coast, and I don't know, I'm just ready to be where it's warm and sunny all the time. So, let me know. But sometimes I question whether California is really that warm. It might be sunny, but I checked the weather and I checked their temperatures. Like right now, it's July and it's hot. In fact, we're coming out of a heat wave. It was like 100 degrees last week, which is actually not typical. What's typical at this time of year is high 80s, which is, it's hot, but it's not to the uncomfortable, unbearable level. And then I'll check California and I'll see 60s and 70s, and I'm like, what kind of summer is that? But yet they brag about this great weather when it looks to me like they don't really get a hot summer. To me, it's just not summer if it doesn't get hot, because you can't really enjoy the beach. Well, for me anyways, like it needs to be really hot in order for the beach to be comfortable, because that breeze coming off the water is so freaking cold. It takes the beach temperature down about 10 degrees. So if it's only 70 degrees inland, then to me the beach it's going to be freezing, especially the water. So every time I look at California's temperatures, I'm like, okay, they brag about their shores and their beaches, but those beaches seem cold to me, okay? If I call myself trying to get in the water, now maybe sitting on the sand with my sweatshirt on, well, that's a whole other story, Yeah, but just let me know. Now I know maybe inland in California, maybe like, a few miles away from the coastline, it probably is a lot warmer. So tell me about those temperatures when you start moving away from the coastline. Does it feel like summer in California there? I'm not talking about Northern California like San Francisco. It probably never gets hot up there. I don't know. I don't know. I've only visited a couple of times for a few days. Actually, I did Air Force service when I was around 20 up near Santa Barbara, once again in the summertime, and the mornings were cold. It never got truly hot, but it was comfortable during the day. Now that I can say, but I was really surprised at how chilly it was in the evenings and the mornings. Why don't you just move to Florida, since you want to be warm so much all the time? I've been looking at Florida, particularly Miami. It just seems like California has more hip spots. They're just hipper, healthier. They have a better music scene. And the population seems more educated in California. This tea is so freaking good. It's a combination of peppermint tea that I got from Swanson. I think it's Swanson brand. And Trader Joe's Blood Orange Rooibos. The former bartender in me loves mixing teas. I love coming up with my own flavors. But it's not like I'm putting 2 fresh tea bags into 1 cup. I think that would be too much. I make a pot, like a small pot, so you could probably get 2 full cups out of it. maybe three, but definitely you can get 2 full cups. So I put 2 tea bags into that pot. Oh my gosh. It's just too good. No sugar in it, no honey. I'm going to introduce a new book today. It's similar to the other one. The other one is People Smart. This one is People Skills. Different author, Robert Bolton, PhD. It's a very old book, but the concepts are still the same. People skills. So chapter 1 is skills for bridging the interpersonal gap. I focus a lot on people skills. You know, I grew up a very shy, withdrawn, and just kind of socially, maybe ambivalent is a good word, and aloof. I would say because it goes beyond not having the skills, it included not even having the desire to really socialize after a certain point. You know, I felt rejected by my peers growing up. People were telling me I was different. I don't know what the heck was going on. It was just weird. I don't even think I was that different. I just think it was some kind of conspiracy, honestly, but we're gonna keep it bright and positive here, aren't we? But anyways, I always wanted to improve my people skills. And actually, I wanted to be a people person. I wanted to be more extroverted. And now that I'm 52, a lot of the so-called extroverts that I see have too much neediness to get attention and constantly need somebody around them, and I don't want to be that way. So I'm actually appreciating my introverted nature the older I get, because with a lot of extroverts I noticed that they can't really control who comes at them. Like a lot of people who come at them, they don't want to deal with. Phones are going off, bells are ringing, and they have to entertain people that they would really rather not. So I am so glad that that's not a big problem for me, because people already know that I'm just not gonna talk, you know, because can't fake the funk, can't do it. Okay, so communication, humanity's supreme achievement. When one person communicates through another through the medium of language, something takes place between them that is found nowhere else in nature. This ability to turn meaningless grunts into spoken and written words constitutes humanity's most important distinction. Language has made us characteristics that differentiate Homo sapiens from all other creatures. No wonder the German philosopher Karl Jaspers claims man's supreme achievement in the world is communication from personality to personality. Okay, now I'm going to add my 2 cents here sometimes. Alright, so we have language. Most people talk too freaking much. Most people run their yap and they say nothing, nothing at all, nothing at all, at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. So just, you know what I mean? I feel like people don't need to know every little thought that comes into my head. So me, personally, I only speak when it's really necessary. Some people want to try to work it out by talking it out. And as they're going over things in their mind, they want to tell you every little note of their issue and how they're working it out and the conclusions that they're coming to at every tiny, minute step of the way. And it's painful, 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 painful. You know, a lot of times people think when you're quiet, that means you're just a blank canvas for them to blabber on and on and on and on and on, because you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there waiting for them to yap to. Nope. There's a reason why I'm quiet and silent, because I like it that way. I prefer my own inner thoughts. So sometimes, look, you gotta get rude. You know, my mom was the type to sit there with a smile on her face while people droned on and on. I'll get up. Now, I'm not entirely rude, okay? Your girl does have some interpersonal skills after all. But after a while, I have to find a way to excuse myself, you know, politely. Anyways, so remember to reach for the best feeling thought you can find. Reach for the best feeling thought you can find. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe, donate to the